with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Command, talk today.
If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, welcome. Another fantastic Friday, and we can start things off with our friends from the Family Resource Center. 1 o'clock, we get a chance to talk, with the good folks over at UCCI for Zambia. And then, our ministry has something in store for us that we can be telling you about. It's all in the spirit of giving and thanksgiving, of receiving, and of reminded of what is perfect in this society. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255.
Courtesy of Flow.
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And as we do all we can to strengthen our families and our communities, being mindful, the scriptures that say, "To whom much is given, much is required." So let's give her time, her talents, and treasure, as Miss Marlin reminds us. We go to the phones though, and welcome from the Family Resource Center, Miss Marie and Lavella. How are you today? Hello, welcome. All right. Well, the beautiful part about life, it continues even in your absence. I think that's one of the, sobering sentiments that was shared with some of us earlier. Hey, welcome.
Hi, sorry, Sterling. We were on mute. How are you doing?
Not a problem. If you'd allow me to attempt, a bit of a jovial approach, more of us should be on mute before we... How are you guys?
Or know when to press mute, right?
Yes, as a friend, reminded me this morning in something he was reading. He says, "Listen, the wise man, or the smart man knows what to say. The wise man knows when to say it."
Exactly. I love that saying.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I don't take credit for it, but I was so inspired by his sentiments. So, how are you all today?
We're doing really well. Better now that we're chatting with you.
Great. And I love the chorus in the background. It just almost reminds me of the carols at Christmas.
Yes, it's us two ladies with you today. We're very happy to be here. Marie and Lavella joining you from the Family Resource Center.
Oh, thank you. You see, when Miss Susan was saying to me, and this is, if you would allow, because I think in the spirit of communication, we recognize that within families sometimes the dad would say to the mom something, and it's a misunderstanding, and they're only 5 feet apart. The child believes that this is what has been agreed, and just like this, I said, well, I know Anne-Marie, great ideas, and she said, Anne-Marie Lavella. I'm like, okay, well, you know what, we'll figure this out. So we got 2 today, and
yes,
it's all that much better. All right. But my public apologies for maybe not misunderstanding Miss Susan, or maybe I did it. But it's Anne-Marie and it's Lavella. And we know you from the Family Resource Center. And according to my notes, one of you have chocolate cake for me and the other one has cassava. Is that true?
Oh, okay. Good to know.
All right. No, but all honesty, it's a pleasure to welcome both of you. And as we listen to what you have to share, hopefully we'll take it on board and use it to uplift, to nurture, to inspire, and to create, those safe spaces for all of us in this wonderful, blessed community that we have.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Ms. Marie, and I'm glad that you guys can join us. So share with us today, So despite now that we don't have the chocolate cake, not the cassava cake, I'll have to call my sister-in-law or Miss Rhonda, and we'll get that.
Yes, right on a Friday. Some sort of treat we need right now. But yes, sir, thank you so much for having us. We're coming to the end of our International Men's Day campaign as we end and wrap up November. But we do have some final initiatives we'd love to share with you about. And one being on Monday, we are having our second annual State of Men and Boys Forum at the Marriott Ballroom. We're mostly catering to our civil service, but we are open to the public as well. We're mostly targeting men that work in uniform services, frontline, or other professional or administrative roles, and want to be alongside other men as we candidly speak about issues that impact them, as well as share in our celebration of masculinity.
Even today, that word masculinity sometimes seems to be, I don't want to say have a negative connotation because that might even get me in trouble, but isn't it interesting? Right. But you've guided me as to how I can understand things we're looking at. So I know I'm going to come away even better informed today.
Right. I think the term like toxic masculinity, maybe because it kind of became like a buzz phrase, it started to maybe kind of gloss over this idea that masculinity or manhood in general is something toxic or negative, which of course it's not. There's two genders for a reason. We both need one another and complement one another, right? And so we recognize women in March. And so for our agency, we recognize men in November because International Men's Day falls on November 19th. And so we use the month to really recognize, to celebrate accomplishments, as well as to recognize issues that are specific to the male gender as well. And so the forum, we have our keynote speaker, Dr. Scott David. He will be joining us to address on various topics that impact men's longevity and health. Then we have our very own colleague, Jason Seymour. He's a clinical supervisor with our department. He will also be addressing specifically on mental health. And then we have Mr. Trevor Spinney. He is a vice president of Premier Banking at Cayman National Bank. And he will be speaking on things like financial stress and financial management. And so it's, these are key areas that impact all of us, but especially men's lives. And we want to ensure that we're giving a forum that allows us that platform to engage, to have meaningful conversation, and to also to encourage us to take action where necessary, whether individually or in our various spaces that we occupy.
And this is crucial because as I, listen to you, recognizing just as we started out, communication, miscommunication, misunderstanding, but also comprehension, and appreciating that many of us labor under sometimes some misguided perceptions. Maybe we are stressed and we try to hide it. And sometimes it's very evident in the man in our lives, but we may not also see the impact on that, woman as well. Well, when we come back from our break, would you share with us some more about it, how we, can access and participate? I know you say it's geared primarily, to the public sector, but specifically, those in uniform. But there are takeaways that could benefit all of us, in particular this time of year. All right. Well, ladies, I'm looking forward to, being better informed and upskilled as you share with us when we come back.
All right. Talk soon. Thank you.
All right. Stay tuned, everyone.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Cayman Islands, clear your calendars because something extraordinary is coming your way. Ignite the Fire, hosted by Christ for All Nations, is roaring into the Lions Center from November 29th to December 3rd. Join us for an epic worship and gospel event, a monumental move of God that will transform lives and reveal destinies. Don't miss this 5-night, once-in-a-generation experience. Be a part of history in the making. Ignite the Fire, Cayman. Mark your date, November 29th to December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. nightly, and get ready for an unforgettable spiritual journey that will set your heart ablaze. Cayman and you will never be the same again.
Jingle all the way into the season of incredible savings and wish granting with Digicel. This Christmas, get 25% off your Prime Bundle plan or postpaid bill for the next 6 months. With plans featuring social data, entertainment data, and more, Digicel keeps you connected and entertained all season long. But here's the real magic. Digicel could make your Christmas wish come true. Win a prize of your choice, from getting your rent paid to a new laptop or even a brand new car. Visit a Digicel store today, where dreams come true this holiday season.
Shop in store or online for the extraordinary Black Friday sale at Tomlinson Furniture and Mattress Gallery. 2 days, in store only, Friday the 24th and Saturday the 25th of November. Store-wide savings on everything in stock, up to 50% off, plus a free gift with purchase. Online shoppers can save on Cyber Monday with huge savings of everything from TomlinsonFurniture.ky. This is the largest sale of the year. The perfect time to replace your mattress, buy your bedroom set, sofas, and anything you need for the home. Hurry in for Tomlinson Furniture's Black Friday in-store sale this Friday and Saturday. And Cyber Monday sale, save up to 50% off. Tomlinson Building on Walkers Road.
Breakfast, the most important meal of the day. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman Breakfast is back this Saturday, November 25th, starting at 7 a.m. at the Lions Community Center. Enjoy a tasty Caribbean breakfast of fried fish and fritters, liver and onions, and ackee and saltfish, starting at only $12. Get your Caribbean breakfast and support the Lions Club of Grand Cayman in their community efforts this Saturday, November 25th, starting at 7 a.m. at the Lions Community Center. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, serving the people of the Cayman Islands for over 5 decades.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And as we have the opportunity to speak, to two of the wonderful public servants we have, Miss Anne Marie and her colleague, Miss Lavella, over at the Family Resource Center. Ladies, thanks very much for taking time out of your day to not just remind us of the importance of showcasing and celebrating all of, but especially our men in this month of November. So thanks again, huh?
Thank you, Mr. Sterling, for having us.
All right.
Just want to touch back on the point you were making about how individuals can register for the form that we have on Monday.
Yes, please.
They can do so by visiting our social media pages, which is on Facebook and Instagram, FRC Cayman. And they can also send us an email at frc@gov.ky. In regards to upcoming events that we have, in addition to the forum, we also have our financial stress workshop happening Wednesday, the 29th, 6 to 9 p.m. 7 to 9 p.m. at the Bordentown Library. This will be the final workshop of November, and just want to say to the public that this is a free workshop, which is valued at $450 per person if they were to register outside of this. It is being put on by Inspire Cayman and Michael Miles' team. They would benefit greatly from coming to the financial stress workshop, as we all know and all can feel the burden of
There is a strong financial burden without question that we're all feeling, huh?
Yes, sir.
And sorry to cut you. Thank you for sharing, because I think that sometimes many of us would believe because we're professionals, whether we're doctors or lawyers or even educators, or we may have a degree in, say, accounting, but your personal finance and a budget, a plan, isn't something that everybody takes too easily. So this would be an excellent workshop for people to attend, and thank you for making that partnership with Inspire Cayman to make it happen. So this is going to be in person at the Bordentown Library, right?
Yes, sir, that is correct. In person at the Bordentown Library, happening from 7 to 9 p.m. And again, you can register through our social media pages just by clicking the link at the top, and that's FRC Cayman on Facebook and Instagram, or you can send us an email at frc@gov.ky.
And as you sort of emphasize that, I don't think that it would be, inappropriate to say to our listeners, this would help anyone to look at not just their expected expenditures over the Christmas, but also going into the new year as part of their resolve to look at their financial planning, whether they're looking at retirement, whether they're looking at, some of the venture on an entrepreneurial spirit, or whether they're asking, how do I save for the children's continued education, but their welfare and that peace of mind, knowing that their budget, can be something that helps to, as you intending to do, alleviate that stress. What is it they tell us? Some of us have more month than we have money.
Yes, Mr. Sterling, that is so true. We've gotten very good feedback from the public that attended our workshop that we had just this Wednesday, saying the benefits that they received from the instructor. They got very practical materials. Some of them are even emailing us today to ask for those PowerPoint presentations and to get some of the material that they use. So it's not just you coming to the workshop and one whole bunch of talking, but you have practical elements. You'll be filling out budgets. You'll be able to implement certain things into the Excel spreadsheet that they do have there to come up with a good budget and how to manage your finances in a practical way.
Yeah, and I think too many times we don't appreciate the importance of not just saving, but being able to live each month and not have that burden, that stress where you can't enjoy. You go to work every day. You may be making a lot of money, you may not be, but if you know how to manage it, you might actually get some enjoyment from it. And maybe I say that to remind myself.
Yes, sir. One of the things that Mr. Miles talks about at the workshop a lot is the alleviation of debt. And, being able to take yourself out of debt and not just save money, but how to invest properly and where to allocate certain funds so that you are able to live comfortably in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah. And that's the thing, people would say, it's probably cheaper and easier, more affordable to live here, there, or wherever. But At the end of the day, if you don't have liquidity, if you don't have sufficient assets, and if you're not leveraging that properly, it's going to be stressful as each day and year, sort of rolls around, right?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm hoping more and more will see the benefit of that, and commend the partnership to making it freely accessible, providing a venue that I think I love libraries. There's something about the knowledge that is there. I think just walking in, you walk out smarter.
Oh,
yes.
I love that.
That is so nice.
And Mr. Sterling, speaking to what you mentioned about it being free, we are really privileged to partner with Inspire Cayman. And one of the reasons we're able to give these workshops away for free is because of our sponsorship. If it's okay with you, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Is that possible?
No, thank you very much. And I commend you for that, because that partnership is what helps. It is maybe free to the attendee, but it's costing somebody else. But once it's done as a supportive gesture, it has untold benefits.
Absolutely. So we have 2 title sponsors. We're very fortunate to have 2 ministries backing us, our very own Ministry of Health and Wellness and Ministry of Investment, Innovation, and Social Development. And then we have gold sponsors, which also includes our Government Gender Affairs Unit. Davenport has supported us once again, Burger King once again, Silver Sponsor Water Authority once again, and We Had Cost You Less and Tortuga support us in our sporting events this year once again. So we're very happy and gracious to receive their continued support.
Yeah, it is, that level of looking at a quick message from one of our listeners, and I was just trying to message back, so I haven't got a response. But the person shared that long ago, how they emphasized it. It sounded like that was probably when I was young, but that might be that long ago. We didn't have computers then. The message says that they did, as part of their training, personal finance and budgeting seminar, and that was instrumental in their savings. And just by being able to save $10 every week, right? $10.
Oh.
That has allowed, after a couple of years, you don't realize how much it adds up. You got a little bit of money that you put aside, and that became part of added to the down payment for something else. And they went through a few things, but the quick skim at the bottom says you don't realize how just a little bit put aside can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. And with discipline, right?
Yes.
I've heard lots of financial advisors speak, and some of them even just talk about, look at it as you're paying yourself first. And we sometimes think, well, temporary enjoyment is a way that I pay for myself, but actually you committing to putting, like you said, $10 aside each week, you're actually gifting yourself long-term that longevity of financial freedom too. So it's important to start to shift our mindset in that way. And I think if people join the workshop in the Boddentown area, they won't regret it. They're going to walk away with some meaningful content. And already, just our staff that have been going.
Such good information. And also, if you have been to any of the workshops before, or you have additional questions that you would like to ask, say from the previous workshops that we've held during the week, you could also come to this one as it's the final one. Again, it's free to the public. We will be having refreshments. So I want to say to everyone, don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to come and get the knowledge to reward your future self.
Yes, I love that.
No, thank you, because that ties into the I asked the person, they responded, and it was not just the, sort of the control of the finances, but the sense of independence it gave. But the person referenced it, more importantly, in time, that freedom, that, that stressful environment, knowing that they were in control of, where they were going, they had to see, and it wasn't as if, you got your paycheck and before you cashed it, it's gone.
Yes, you hit it on the nail right there, Mr. Sterling. Feeling in control, it's something that we all need so desperately when we feel to some degree out of control, right? So the best thing we can do is control our behaviors and especially our money. Learn more. Come on Wednesday. It's the final workshop. We have the forum on Monday, which both registrations, as Ms. Lavella said, is in our social media, or you can always email us at frc@gov.ky. Give us a call on 949-0006 if anything. And this is the end of our International Men's Day campaign. I want to thank Ms. Lavella. She's been a part of our International Men's Day Committee alongside Mr. Andre Bailey, Miss Unique Matthews, and Miss Kenzie Wright. So they make up our Family Resource Center agency as well. And so it's just been such a pleasure to see all the passion and effort that have gone into things this year, all our events. It's sad to see it come to an end, but all good things must come to a close, right?
Right. Well, I certainly, look at it this way, and thank you very much for sharing. But maybe this is just, sowing good seed. You're building the foundation, so not just only for next year's events, but these initiatives, these programs, these training would allow others to be able to share that knowledge, to implement, good strategies in their lives as they employ very sensible approaches to managing and controlling their time and their finances.
Yes, sir. I think the best thing that we'd love to see as an agency is that this campaign doesn't remain our own, but that it becomes a movement where other organizations and people decide to, share these messages and spread positive messages around International Men's Day. So it becomes a movement, because that's when we really start to see valuable change, right?
Indeed. Well, it is. Thank you very much. Thanks to your sponsors for supporting, for the commitment of respective government entities, for seeing the need to invest, and for you individually for going beyond, just the terms of reference in your job description and being there so much. So, I invite you to have a fantastic rest of November, a very blessed and enjoyable Christmas. All right.
You as well,
Thank
sir.
you,
It's always a
Sterling, for
pleasure.
having us.
Thank you. And good folks over the Family Resource Center facilitating this true Inspire Cayman for next Wednesday at the Borden Town Library. Personal finance is important. It's not just the billions you make. Someone told me how much money you make is how much you're able to save. That's where the key comes in. All right, we're going to pause and take a short break. When we return, we've got some other things to share with you about empowering, educating, informing, and inspiring. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
How can you make a classic BLT sandwich even better? Well, by adding tuna. Wow. The land meets the sea in Subway's new sandwich, the Tuna BLT, available for a limited time. The Tuna BLT is exploding with flavor. Imagine crispy, juicy bacon strips on top of tuna, fresh lettuce, and slices of tomato, topped with your favorite sauce and choice of freshly baked bread. Enjoy the best of both worlds with the Tuna BLT from Subway. Subway, eat fresh.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
After a storm, be sure to immediately report any broken or damaged water mains to the Water Authority. Our emergency helpline is 946-HELP. That's 946-4357. For more useful hurricane preparedness tips, visit the Water Authority's website at www.waterauthority.ky or follow us on social media.
Brandsour's Home Gallery 54th birthday celebration with store-wide savings. Save on appliances, faucets, tubs, toilets, shower doors, vanities, kitchen cabinets, custom closets, and more. Starting Monday, November 6th, save 30%. Monday, November 13th, the savings will drop to 20%. And Monday, November 20th, they will drop to 10%. It pays to shop early and save more. Brandsour's Home Gallery 54th birthday celebration savings on now through November 25th. Dorsey Drive Industrial Park. Call 623-5000 for more details.
When you want the best Black Friday deals in town, where do you go? Cellular World. Where can you buy smartphones starting at $99? Cellular World. Who has select iPhone and Samsungs up to 40% off for Black Friday? Cellular World. Who has the largest selection of headphones and Bluetooth speakers? Cellular World. Where can you save up to 40% on phone accessories like cases, wireless chargers, power banks, tripods, and ring lights? Cellular World. Who is the best at fixing and repairing damaged mobile phones? Cellular World. Catch the Black Friday sale on now at Cellular World, Cayman's one-stop shop for phones, accessories, and repairs. Located in Baytown Plaza across from the wharf.
Kirk Freeport's 4-day Black Friday weekend is back from Thursday 23rd to Monday 27th. Kirk Freeport will have once-in-a-year deals that must end on Monday. Find unbeatable deals on jewelry, watches, and fragrances across the Kirk Freeport network, including Kirk Freeport at the Strand and Bayshore Mall and La Parfumerie at Bayshore Mall and Cardinal Avenue. And there's more. The Kirk Freeport pop-up store on Cardinal Avenue is back with the craziest deals of all, up to 75% off. The biggest luxury sale of the year is here for 4 days only. Visit kirkfreeport.com for details.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets are red hot and moving. Somebody is going to win this Saturday, and why not you? Get your ticket now through Rotary Central members, Rotary Central ticket sellers, online at eventpro.ky, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Funky Tangs at Shedden Road, Ken Hurlston at Foster's Republics in West Bay, Rotarian Andy Rose Scott next to Rubis in West End, Cayman Brack. Grand prize $40,000. Second winner is $4,000 and 6 $1,000 prizes. Event date, Saturday. This Saturday, November 25th at Salties in Grand Harbor, Red Bay. Music by Sugar Daddy, Goodnight Hannah, the band called Heat. Rotary Central Music Extravaganza, a major fundraiser taking care of our community. Rotary Central, NPO number 232, creating hope in Cayman and the world.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And it's an opportunity always to learn. And I think if you can take something home on a Friday afternoon besides your work or your lunch that you didn't get to, but it's a way to inspire your conversation through the weekend with your friends and family, and that bodes well for not only a rewarding weekend, but energizing you as you come to the start of the week. So our good friends from UCCI, they've had a resounding success with their Resembled program. It's great to always partner with them, and through them today I get a chance to learn more. I think universities and institutions of higher learning are places to inspire and to nurture, to challenge as much as to champion. So today,
yes, indeed.
Indeed. Well, it's a pleasure to welcome you both. I think we flipped the coin, but being fine gentlemen, we say ladies first.
Okay, hi. Hi, I'm Tracy Hargrave. I'm Dean of STEM and Health at UCCI, so I am ultimately in charge of the Resembled 2 project.
The buck stops here, she says.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's STEM and Health.
STEM and Health, yes. We have nursing in our division as well.
And I only sort of emphasize that because I think we see nursing and the sciences being part of the push early years for STEM education, but making that partnership. And there's so much, as my friends tell me, in nutrition. You look at the labels, those ingredients that come first are the ones that are primarily more prominent in the thing.
Well, nursing, they have to do many courses in the science, so it's all science, technology and math.
Yeah, it is. And I think the more that we approach it, the more we can take away the labels. We can appreciate how it's more easily integrated and to get people to space. So in nursing, that they're seeing yes, it is important to have the sciences and
It
the
is
math.
absolutely,
and,
it is, yeah.
And it's accessible.
Yes,
All right.
yes. So nursing, yes, you do need an awful lot of science.
All right. Well, I'm somewhat familiar with the program, but I always believe anything good is worth repeating. And the more we share with the public, the more that we understand, the more that we can engage. Tell us about the Resemble program. Tell us where we are. Tell us what round we're in. And is this a 15-round battle? I
No.
mean, very cool.
We had one program before, so there was Resembid 1, which was a grant that we received from the European Union to train 50 Caymanians. It was over COVID, and that grant is now finished. So now we're on to Resembid 2, which basically is creating a sustainable UCCI. So it's over 1 million euros that we received for that grant. So we're putting solar on the college, 150 kilowatts of solar. We're retrofitting 5 buildings, so to make them more sustainable. We're getting a building management system. We're upgrading the air conditioning, the windows, insulation. We're developing a digital library and turning the college into a living laboratory. That's still to come. And at the moment, we are working on a sustainability plan for UCCI. So moving forward in the years to come, we will have a plan for sustainability at UCCI. We have hired a consultant through the grant who is coming on island and will be running workshops next week.
Right. And then we know with the first grant there was some funding. And this second grant, you say, is an additional million.
Yeah, just over €1 million.
Yeah, and with the exchange rate, it's almost $1 CI. And that is going to help not just with the facilities and resources, but the personnel and hopefully the training, the knowledge transfer.
Absolutely, yes, we train in solar installation.
Yeah, it's amazing. Mr. Julian. And to you, sir, how are you?
Mr. Sterling, doing well. Always a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Likewise, sir. And the more that we look at where we are in human history, and sometimes we expect things from larger nations with their resources, their population. But we look to small spaces like this, physically small, relatively speaking, still a small population, although my friends and family say, too many people, but that's another story. But the more that we learn and know and grow, the more that we're able to interact and to not use the word that it becomes a cliche, but empower, ensure that there's an educated approach to what we're doing, the more we recognize our impact on things. And I say that to share as a personal preference. When we talk about things, whether it's finance and accounting, we don't see the importance of the economics, and it's all encompassing. For what you're saying, this is an economical approach, it's an environmentally sensitive, it's educationally sound, and it's going to ensure that the community is, back to that word, empowered. So, Mr. Julian, how soon before we have it all right?
Well, as you probably already know, change takes place slowly. But I'm certainly encouraged by the sort of energy that we have generated around this interest. And I think part of it is because what was able to be accomplished with the first grant under the leadership of Dean Paul and his team over at UCCI. And I just want to take a second to highlight those where I think it's worth really mentioning.
Yes.
The first grant was able to create a labor market assessment, a comprehensive labor market assessment in conjunction with the Ministry of Work and with the Chamber of Commerce. And that was done to answer the question, what are the future jobs and how do unemployed and underemployed Caymanians position themselves to do that? And how do we as a university community help develop curriculum to match the needs that are coming? So we were able to upgrade 4 courses to our curriculum that are still being run right now. And so that was significant for us, courses in tourism management, because for what we heard from Caymanians primarily is, yes, there are opportunities in tourism, but there are not opportunities in tourism management for Caymanians. And so we're able to put a course in place that does exactly that, and we have Caymanians now working in various STEAM positions in this industry in that management role. The computer department, IT department, was able to add certifications for CompTA as well as a solar voltaic course that's currently being run at UCCI. I don't know if every single solar company on island will tell you, when they're looking for manpower, typically they have to go outside of Cayman to get it because we don't have trained people here enough to install solar. So now hopefully we can play our part in trying to sort of develop that. The first grant started this conversation with sustainability for us. There are 2 EV stations that are going to be developed installed on campus. We have a solar charging station in the quad, and we, in collaboration with an Archery grant, there is a 5 kilowatt solar already there in place. And finally, we graduated 51 students from that program, and the original goal, as you might recall, was just 50. And so I think because of some of those successes that we have been able to get people's attentions, I think people are listening a little better now.
Man. Sometimes it's not just about noise and white noise. It's about actually being constructive. Yeah. When we come back from the break, I want you to share as much as you're able to. For me, it's not just a personal passion, but it's important that we bring people to the table, that they come prepared to do what is necessary to make it better for today, but more important for our future.
Great question.
All right. When we return, we ask you to rejoin us. So stay tuned.
Today's biggest news.
Radio K-Man, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio K-Man's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority.
More tools and training for police officers in Cayman Brac to help them cut down on dangerous driving. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service says this investment in traffic enforcement comes after last month's community meeting there, hosted by new Commissioner Kurt Walton. He said Brac residents made it clear just how much of a priority traffic issues are for them. In international headlines, the 2 people killed when their car crashed into a border checkpoint in Niagara Falls and exploded in a fiery wreck were identified today as a Western New York husband and wife whose family owns a lumber business and several hardware stores in the Buffalo area. Authorities have not yet released details on what exactly led to the couple's crash Wednesday at the Rainbow Bridge, where their car raced through an intersection, hit a low median, and was launched into the air before slamming into a row of security booths and bursting into flames. Hamas today released 24 hostages who had been held captive in Gaza for weeks, including 13 Israelis, 10 people from Thailand, and a Filipino citizen. This according to Qatar and other officials in the first stage in a swap for Palestinian prisoners in Israel under a 4-day ceasefire deal. The hostages, women and children, were undergoing medical checks before they were to be transferred to Israel. They are to be taken to Israeli hospitals and reunited with their families. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Today's biggest news.
Radio K-Man, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio K-Man's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority.
When you have a sports or fitness-related injury, trust the expertise of the HSA's Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic to get you back in the game. Our internationally trained and certified physicians specialize in sports traumatology, sports medicine, pain management, and orthopedic surgery. For treatment of common injuries such as tendonitis, arthritis, tennis elbow, rotator cuff, or knee tears, schedule a consultation with the Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic at Smith Road Medical Center by calling 949-8600 or visit hsa.ky for more information.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born in Watering Place, Cayman Brac, on the 8th day of July, 1936, Captain Fred Elman Scott was the 5th child born to Nalio and Vera Scott. Not only did Captain Scott work the seas for over 52 years, but he was mathematically inclined. In the early 70s, Captain Scott received his first calculator, eventually moving on to computers. After retiring from sea, Captain Scott used his knowledge of navigation, his love for mathematics, and general knowledge to write various computer programs that would impact the lives of the people of the Cayman Islands, such as payroll calculation and a program that could tell the depths at any point of the Georgetown Harbor, which would allow him to give any ship in port the coordinates to drop anchor. However, his pride and joy was his weather program that could detect when a storm formed anywhere in the world and was able to track and forecast its path. To create this program, he first drew the world map by using actual coordinates from the various coastlines around the world, including the most minute coves. This information would be transmitted by his shipping mates from around the world, making him the local reliable source on storm predictions.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And as we talk about, sustainable UCCI and the importance of the partnerships and leveraging our connections together with Dean Hargrave and Cleveland Julian. Thank you for sharing. It speaks to what we can achieve if we work together, if we have a shared vision, and if we're willing to put in the time and the effort to bring it about. So it is exciting, both for the prospective student, but for the wider community. All right. Well, I have many things to ask based on what you shared, but go right ahead, and then I'll you're looking at workshops and consultants, looking at training, you're looking at bringing not just physical plant within UCCI that is more sustainable, but through that, training and opportunities for the wider community, including the students.
Absolutely. So we're starting next week. We have hired a consultant to come in and who is going to ultimately write a sustainability plan for UCCI, so that we know what we're going to be doing moving forward. So Thursday, Friday next week, we will be running this 2-day workshop. The first day, the Thursday, is for internal stakeholders. So all the faculty, the staff, students will be invited to give their views. Social will get information and data from that group of people. And then on the second day, the Friday, we have invited in people from the community, people from government, stakeholders from UCCI, suppliers, our community partners. So they will all be represented and their views will be represented. And then she will go away and develop this sustainability plan for us.
Now, following the workshop and then her return and then the report preparation, when would we expect to at least see the first draft of that sustainable plan?
Mr. Julian.
Yes. So we had to really negotiate this piece of it carefully. I would love to get it by the end of the year, but it'll be available mid-January.
Well, with Christmas being what it is,
It's not a bad time.
That's not bad. And that would be sort of the first draft then, and hopefully with everything being as inclusive and almost an attempt at an exhaustive approach. 2 questions. When would we start to be able to implement and employ the strategies in this sustainable plan?
Well, there are many areas involved in the plan. So there are many thematic areas. If Mr. Julian could talk about the thematic areas. I don't think we can start on everything all at once because there are so many areas.
And there are probably some that are dependent on, like the courses in university, they're prerequisites, right? Yeah. So you can't put the roof on until you have the foundation, for instance. So, Mr. Julian, the thematic areas.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me share a little bit on that. Let me just say that the grant actually is structured in such a way that it gives us the ability to actually take action on some of these thematic areas. So the consultant has laid out the following strategy. Energy and water efficiency will be a key one for us. And so as Dr. Hargrave just mentioned, the installation of 150 kilowatts of DC would be placed on our Silvassel Hall, which doubles as a hurricane shelter for us. So we felt that was a really efficient use of funds. The building is also a focus for other retrofits to ensure that it's utilizing energy and space efficiently. We'll be looking at waste management. And so in plain language, how do we recycle? What sort of knowledge do we currently have? What sort of propensity towards that behavior do we currently have? And when those initiatives are started, how likely are people to actually get involved? So what would those actually be? We also heavily focus on procurement and trying to figure out as a large institution like ours, when we're procuring items, what sort of guidelines and policies are shaping, influencing the things that we purchase. And again, we can't just talk it. We got to be able to walk the walk here. biodiversity is critical for us in Cayman. I think there are a lot of great organizations already around the island that's doing a lot of this work, and so we hope to hear from them next Friday, as well as to have their input and ideas, figuring out what culture, community, and people look like. And what that means is, what sort of environment are we trying to shape for the students who could participate at UCCI?
Mm-hmm.
What sort of governance and policies around research the faculty going to ultimately be involved in? And what sort of community partnerships are we going to be able to develop so that we can drive some of the initiatives forward? And the final two is health, safety, and wellness. So I know Donette from our student life department is particularly excited about this space because, part of this conversation would involve mental health,
Mm-hmm.
would involve food pre-production. We have a cafeteria of sorts on island, and so where are we currently sourcing our food from? Are those sources stable? Are those sources reliable? And what might be future sources that we might need
Mm-hmm.
to look at? And then generally, how are we going to operate our campus and utilize our space? Let me just say that this is the first part of a conversation. What usually follows this is a bigger master plan, and I would just say that university does have plans to execute on that eventually, thanks to the leadership of Dr. Robinson. But this really shapes the policy that's going to guide how all of that work is eventually done. So that's what her report will essentially focus on.
And there are many times where, thankfully, we have already precedents. There are templates elsewhere. Sometimes you need something that is bespoke. If I can borrow Sir Alden's, words that he introduced to our community some years ago. Where does this sort of consultants' reports fit in that scheme?
Well, we have looked at other universities.
Mm-hmm.
Other universities have had sustainability plans in the US and the UK for
Mm-hmm.
many years, like for over 15 years. Universities abroad have had sustainability plans, but ours is going to be specifically for UCCI
Mm-hmm.
and for Cayman.
Right.
So we're looking at how UCCI can move forward sustainably, which is why we're having it specifically done here with
Right.
people's input from the community and from our internal stakeholders.
And then with that in mind, the word biodiversity, Mr. Julian, when you referenced it, you also said, the culture and sort of the community. Sometimes we see biodiversity and we may think of the flora and the fauna. Almost by implication, your inference has been more than just that. Expound on that. What specifically in relation to biodiversity are we looking at?
We will be looking at flora and fauna.
Yeah.
People as well, and the culture, as Mr. Julian alluded to.
Yeah, so the biodiversity is one aspect, and certainly there are already groups and islands that are looking at our reefs and the health of those reefs, and the factors ultimately that would ensure that we are building for sustainability there. But when it comes to really people, culture, and community, and I think this is the piece that I think we have a little bit of work to do here, because we were meeting this morning. One of the things we talked about is we could create the best plans and we could put the best things down on paper, but if collectively we are not creating a process whereby people moving towards agreement of norms and behaviors and policies, so
that cultural ethos,
it makes the challenge of executing on those things very difficult. And so hopefully we can begin framing a conversation around what we want our culture to look at UCCI, so that we can eventually take on challenges, not just for Zimbabwe, but maybe other larger opportunities in the future as well.
And I appreciate you sharing that, just maybe as a public we listen to that, because that could be one of the main takeaways today. We're talking about the normative and the qualitative aspects. What is it the legislators say? You can pass laws to certainty, but you can't legislate morality.
Yep.
But unfortunately, to what extent are our laws reflecting the norms and morals of a society? And if in a university setting where it should be this, hopefully this is not naive, but this space where you can challenge and champion things, where you can get in the quad, there can be a public assembly of students speaking to an issue, and it's not held against them.
Correct.
Right? They can start a petition just amongst the school body to employ this, or perhaps, do away with this thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't always happen.
No.
Right, Dean?
No.
Well, you remember the days in school when we used to swap the grounds?
Yes, exactly.
We were up.
It doesn't happen so much now, does it? But
no, but it should, right?
Yeah, absolutely it should. People should be given the opportunity and not feel afraid to.
Wonder why that is. And that's kind of what with the biodiversity. there's a fearfulness on the part of us. You can't say something, even with the greatest love, and even in a debate where you're asked to, either oppose or propose a certain sentiment. Oh, look at that! That level of respect for individuality and opinion is out the doors, even in academia.
It's quite difficult now to say.
the true diplomat.
But it is not. I mean, it's not just here. It's a global phenomenon that you can't.
It's just not here. It's not just here. Sadly, I think that's one of the things. But maybe, and why I'm not going to belabor it, but why I'm so included in that is that through this we can be reminded back to that word that we've used so much, that like so many in recent times have become cliches, empowered. Have you seen a young student get up and make an impassioned plea? That to me is the most inspiring of all.
We have got students on campus who are very interested in sustainability, and we have a sustainability club. So there are students who...
But does it go beyond just the semantics? Does it go beyond an attempt, I think, at jest by someone once, being very conscious of following the examples of parents and grandparents because of the nature of the community in which this person lives, moves to a rather industrialized area, and you can't take your plastic bag, you can't do any of these things. But all of the purchases in the larger hypermarket is single use, but it can't be taken away from the grocer in this one bag. There has to be sent somewhere.
Yes, we're hoping to increase our recycling efforts at UCCI. That is one of our main goals moving forward, is to increase our recycling efforts, because many things could be recycled that we currently don't even think about recycling. Wow. Everything just gets thrown in the garbage, doesn't it here?
Recycle, reduce, reuse. Well, maybe one of the things we've got to reduce some of the
things. We're looking at further grants to increase our recycling efforts, because we do think it's really important.
Yeah. It's a community initiative. And in this program, and having the support of the European Union, they may be, miles away. They may be, in a policy space that for us doesn't seem. But it shows how helping hands can make.
Absolutely. Yes, who would have thought that we would have received a big grant from...
Well, maybe it's the need for us to start to think a little bit more inclusively as a global community. The 150 kilowatt on the roof of the Servaso Hall.
Yeah.
If you tell me how much 5 gallons is, I'll recognize that. 2 pints I may have an issue unless it's in reference. But 150 kilowatts, like, is that 2 light bulbs? Is that 5 homes? I mean,
no, it's an awful lot of power.
Is it? Okay, well.
It's going to cut our bill by, what, a fifth?
Yeah, we're going to be saving roughly $30,000 a year.
Okay.
With that installed there.
And that'll provide a lot of energy to power a number of things.
And it'll also save us money that we can spend on other sustainability efforts.
Yeah. And this is where I was speaking to some students the other day, and when we left, one adult said, I was just waiting for one of the students to go, no, duh. The simplicity, the significance of some of the things that we do or fail to do. You spend $5 today to save it forever, and we don't.
Yes, no, we had the ASHRAE Level 2 audit completed fairly recently, and the biggest bang for your buck you can get is to install solar.
Maybe that helped to inform our public policy relative to our regulator and our utilities. And in 50 years from now, we'll see how sensible the sacrifice of today. How do we do as a community get on board to partner? I know you have a reference next Thursday and Friday. You're expecting a report. You'll identify some of the other areas, but is it more than just career choices as parents and teachers in relation to our children's choices? Is it what and how can we help?
Well, we're hoping to empower people by our actions to join into our various initiatives that we have going. We're hoping to carry on after the grant. The grant actually finishes in April. So we're hoping to carry on after the grant and get funds to develop a centre. So a centre for innovation and sustainability. So where people can get involved. So we will have the digital library where people can get information. Do you want to talk about the centre?
Yeah.
You had referenced that way back when initially. That was a vision.
Yeah, I mean, we sat here and kind of talked about what if, right?
What if,
after
Yeah,
these
this is our
grants
big
were
what
finished,
if, because
you
we
know?
haven't got funding for it yet.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
what if I was told? But
you know, what if we could end these efforts and anchor it in a center that focuses our energy and brings together the community in a larger space to be able to execute on a lot of these initiatives? Because remember, we're going to have a plan. And so now what we do with the plan, we should be able to actually take action. And so the goal for us is to go after some additional funding to establish that center and create a space where Caymanian businesses, Caymanian citizens, Caymanian government can champion initiatives that help us to accomplish the goals that we will set forth in the sustainability plan.
And the interesting thing is, if that's done, then that center can serve not only as inspiration for others, but it can be of a direct assistance.
We intend to have the library with data so people can look at the data, and so we would hope to share the data with the wider Caribbean as well as just Cayman. That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah. If you would, guide me, because sometimes your passion can get ahead of you. Many times, many of us have something. We may have partners, but at the end of the day, it's either just lip service or it's some impediment by some external hand that negates the potential impact. How do we ensure that this partnership, we can see the vision, the center alone is a great thing, the digital library and the resources, the ability for us to access things, for students to get training. How do we make sure that there's a collective buy-in and there are no either, and I say this with the greatest of love and respect, no either deliberate or inadvertent, overtures that may either delay or even deny its impact and effectiveness? I think the dean.
So, under this grant, we were required to take on a meal consultant. Meal meaning monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning. At the end of the project in April. What we decided collectively to do instead was to take that individual on earlier in the process. And so that by they coming in early, they're essentially monitoring and evaluating, keeping us accountable, documenting learning, lessons learned throughout this entire process. Extremely vulnerable for us because it exposes the places we are doing well, but also it exposes the places that we are not doing well.
Yes.
Because the thing that has to change so things can change is a level of candor in how we speak and communicate, and accountability, so that we can ensure that things get done. So what's the thing that needs to happen next for us is to increase candor and accountability.
Yeah.
Right? So that these plans can actually be actioned.
And thank you for being so candid and sharing that, because I think many times we don't appreciate that. Sometimes it's the lack of the physical or financial resource, but sometimes it's the people and their personalities, for whatever reasons, or selfish endeavors or ulterior motives, whatever it is. And that sort of speaks to that cultural ethos that we spoke to. Right? But see, that great minds think alike.
That's it.
And that is the part that is going to be a little bit more perhaps tricky.
That's the Tony piece.
Yeah. And we need to get there, because there's a saying about what you do in the kitchen, you don't do elsewhere, and what you do elsewhere, you don't do in the kitchen. We shouldn't forget that.
No.
And those are the two spaces that are perhaps not interchangeable and perhaps are fixed. Your living room could become your dining room, could become your bedroom, but your kitchen is your kitchen. And we need to remember that.
Especially when you're asking others to get involved.
Yes.
When you're asking others to commit their time and their efforts and their energies and their funds, you need to demonstrate to them that you're taking that into consideration. I think it makes the challenge of building trust and collaboration a lot easier.
But it also speaks to not just, importantly that, but the longevity of it. And
we do want to create a legacy. We do want it to carry on.
Yeah. I wonder, if I may respectfully ask, to what extent your perception is of our populace in being forthright and having that candor. The old people say, call a spade, and that's why I think they succeeded. Today, you can't say anything to someone in confidence. If someone else overhears it, they'll be offended.
Come on,
Dean.
I don't know. I've been here for a long time. I've been here. How long have I been here? 26 years I've been here. So I have seen things change. But I think people are candid. I've taught an awful lot of people here, and I do think people are candid. It's not quite the same here as it is in some places. You can say what you feel more here, I feel. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I want to test that because I believe that's how it should be, right?
Yeah, absolutely, it's how it should be.
Say what you mean, mean what you say.
Exactly. I don't think people are easily offended here, to be honest.
Well,
not as easily offended as
perhaps one of the more recent recruits.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not saying that in a way. I did consciously ask that because there are those who are listening going, what is he on about today? The idea that we can't get something done unless we're willing to do it, but we'll acknowledge what it is that needs to be done. And, if I wanted something off the top shelf, I don't have a ladder. I call Mr. Julian. It'll be easy to get it.
Yeah.
The 23 bourbon, okay. But we have to do that.
Yeah. Well, all of this came into being because Dr. Deborah Beale, went to a presentation, and she is a champion of sustainability at UCCI and started writing the grants. So it's her main vision that now is coming to fruition. It is amazing how far we've come from the beginning to now.
Yeah. And I think that, as you referenced the grant writer, when Dean Paul was here, there are resources available. We just don't know. We don't ask, and we're not quite sure how to ask. There are formalities and protocols that you go through, whether we say that they are bureaucratic and cumbersome, whether they are archaic, they exist, and until they're changed, that's the path we have to navigate.
Absolutely.
But many of us don't even know where the door is. We don't even know that there's a building that has a door.
Yeah, you have to really look around.
Yeah.
You really have to carefully look around for grants and things to get you where you want to go if you have this vision.
And partnership.
And so I think that really echoes why the Sustainability Center is so important. It shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah.
Right? It shouldn't be that difficult for us to find ways and opportunities to do it. And so how do we create more Deborah Beale like individuals?
We do have a fabulous group of people working with us at the moment at UCCI. We do. I mean, so we have a steering committee for the Resembid grant, and on the steering committee we have Dr. Beale, who started the whole thing. We have Mr. Fernando, who is in charge of facilities and maintenance, who is working on the retrofitting. So he'll be in charge of the retrofitting, him and his team. And then we have the marketing. So Tamsin Deasy does the marketing and working with an outside agency. So our marketing we have to have marketing as part of the grant.
It is, I think, a collective partnership.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that you emphasize that because it speaks to why I was asking the question about that ethos. If we don't have just that biodiversity, that cultural shared ethos, we won't be able to have the level of success, the acceptance.
Next semester everybody can be involved because we have, starting next semester, a sustainability homeowners course or a homeowner energy audit course, 2 days. 14 hours it is, isn't it? 12 hours taught, 2 hours where you energy audit your house. So that'll be starting next semester as part of the grant.
And it's important to do that.
So people can learn.
You spoke to the issue of using I think water and energy. How many of us appreciate the amount of water we use?
Absolutely.
And it's something that I'm conscious of.
Yeah.
But I recognize I like taking my showers.
The energy audit course will teach you strategies to cut back on your water use and how you can reduce your energy usage. And so that's starting in the spring semester, over a weekend.
We look forward to helping to promote that beforehand, and hopefully there'll be a great uptake. With this knowledge, it comes to a space where if you know something, whether you're able to do it for yourself or not, you at least know how it's to be done. It may help you to be better informed that when you're speaking to your energy supplier, whether it's your water or the utility, you may be able to understand how to read the meter.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you could help your neighbours or help your family members.
Shared knowledge, is important. Well, I'm excited, and as we close our discussion, first to you, Mr. Julian, and then to Dean, what other stuff you want to share with our listeners?
Yeah, I just want to end by where we started, November 30th, from 9 to 12. UCCI staff, faculty, and students will gather, and they will begin the first process of developing the sustainability plan. December 1st from 9 to 12. Community partners, government, external stakeholders are then going to join us. and they're going to lend their voices. And so I want to encourage those who are listening, who have already might have been invited or contacted by our team. Please show up. Your ideas, your voice, your enthusiasm is what's going to make this document real and livable. What we commit to is to create the space and really create a roadmap for us to be able to move forward. And the goal is for us to be able to come back to community, come back to government and say, hey, we got some additional funding. We want to move on this initiative. Are you still interested in partnering here? And so hopefully that becomes the thing that gets done after this.
Indeed.
Well, I'd just like to say I'm just really pleased to be part of this project. I'm really pleased to be overseeing the project. I think it can be a great thing for UCCI and a great thing for the Cayman Islands, really, because other people can share in our ideas and learn from what we're doing. So I think people need to watch this space for what's coming next.
Wow. If we can help with not just the promotion and the celebration, but the invitation for people to participate, let us know. And who knows, greater things are yet to come, because hands and hearts are joining together to labor in unison.
Yeah.
All right. I invite you to have a wonderful and safe and really enjoyable weekend.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you as always.
Well, our schedule says something else is next, so we're going to see what that is. But when we do come back, we invite you to join us. Please stay tuned for Talk Today.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles until December 31st, 2023. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Cayman Islands, clear your calendars because something extraordinary is coming your way. Ignite the Fire, hosted by Christ for All Nations, is roaring into the Lions Center from November 29th to December 3rd. Join us for an epic worship and gospel event, a monumental move of God that will transform lives and reveal destinies. Don't miss this 5-night, once-in-a-generation experience. Be a part of history in the making. Ignite the Fire, Cayman. Mark your date, November 29th to December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. nightly, and get ready for an unforgettable spiritual journey that will set your heart ablaze. Cayman and you will never be the same again.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Puritan Cleaners.
It is that time of the year when we at Puritan Cleaners remind our customers of the services we offer on drapes and all household items. Standard prepaid discounts apply. Call us today at 949-7104, Georgetown and Savannah Countryside. Puritan Cleaners, you feel good when you look good. Miller's Plumbing has announced a closing down sale on all plumbing material and accessories. 30% off on all items through December 2023. Miller's Plumbing, located at 194 Dorsey Drive, or call 949-4709 or 916-0751. 30% off on all items at Miller's Plumbing through December.
It's party season, which means it's pizza boat season. Aren't you tired of the same boring pizza? It's time to party. All aboard the pizza boat. Birthday parties, holiday functions, office luncheons, game nights. Whatever your occasion, bring the fun with Pizza Boat, a Cayman twist to pizza. Bringing fusion ingredients from all over the globe to give you locally inspired fresh pizzas. All day, every day. What's more, now you can enjoy a boat-shaped pizza with toppings of your choice. It's Pizza Boat. Pizza Boat in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Fridays until 3 a.m. Pickup or delivery 949-0000 or get it online at www.pizzaboat.ky. Pizza Boat. Experience the ultimate pizza voyage.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back and thank you for joining us. Well, we have some phone lines and some phone numbers that we want to remind you as your avenue to call and share your thoughts. As we near the end of this 11th month of this calendar year, and we get excited for what the festive season will bring and the promise of the new year. Well, share your thoughts with us, 949-8037, 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp. That can be a call, that can be a message that you type and send. It could be a voice note. Well, it's all on the same number. If you're calling to get on the air, you have to use that app. 925-3261 is the number. And it's the same numbers that you use for the record when you call Mr. Art on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. But what is on your mind? How many of us have had a chance to either sit and listen to the parliamentary proceedings, whether in person at the House of Parliament, whether we would listen to the broadcast live on our stations, or whether the rebroadcast. All right, so as we get ready to take calls and hear from you, we want very much for you to be a part of our discussion. 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp call 925-3261. It's Friday, and sometimes, for some people, it's just, they can't wait for Friday. It's not because it's the start of other good things and the like, but it's because where they feel they've seen the week, and as they get into the rest of their sort of daily endeavors for the remaining days, they have that notion and confidence that they can share what they want in the most candid and frank of ways. So let's see if that's you today. 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp call us on 925-3261. Well, let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hey there, Mr. Sterling. How are you today?
Excellent, sir. How about yourself? How are you?
Oh, not too bad, A lot of people don't know this, A lot of people don't know this about me because it's a lot of things that I talk to people about that. I don't repeat.
Yeah.
I owe a lot of conversations, man. Let me tell you, I believe in being. I don't know if I'm correct in saying a conversationalist or a socialite. Like to have good conversation, socializing, etc.
Yeah, man. Well, I think you are, and that's the reason that should separate us and remind us we're social beings. We're made to fellowship, right?
Mm-hmm. There's a certain man, and a woman. I'm sure they're at their workplace right now listening to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But they made a big mistake, my friend.
How so?
They made a big mistake going into my place and taking my things, my friend, because let me tell you something. I tell you, around there, it's like the White House, boy, let me tell you something, there's some cameras around here.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, let me tell you something. I mean, they got caught red-handed. Hear what the man was saying to me now. No, you said he got to sell some of my things to pay the bill to clean my room. Mm-hmm. And then, he got this secret cleaning lady, according to what he said, to clean my room. I told you, don't go in my business, but don't go inside my place.
Right. But let me, as a friend, if I might, let me.
Charge me $400.
Yeah, man.
Charge me $400. All right. Yes, sir. But anyway.
No, man, I hear you, man. And this is not always something that people can appreciate when people may feel that their space has been sort of accessed without their consent. Our mutual friend, the good lady there, right? That you should see often up by where you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just,
But, yeah. But anyway, I hope you know the drones and all that be flying around where I live.
Yeah. How about
cameras and all that too.
Exactly. If you have time.
I put it like that, saying it's like another place.
Yeah, man. I hear you, man. If you have time, give her a call. I know she's always busy, but she's always receptive to you, and see if you can have a more private chat with her.
Yeah.
Because where you are now and what you're sharing, you want to make sure that you keep it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the reason why I want to put pressure on them, right, is because they took very valuable information out of my place.
Right. And she can help.
And my mother picture and all that kind of thing. The only one picture I had for my mother and my father, the thing, the program and stuff for my father's funeral, and he gonna talk about he throw away my stuff.
Yeah, man.
I gave no one permission to go in my place.
Right. No, I hear you. Right. So
I gonna put that. I continue to tell people that's where the man work right over there.
Yeah. Well, so what you do, right, is to be what you do. Give her a call now, right? She'll help you to navigate how best to go forward to be able to, protect your interests and get your stuff back.
I put serious pressure on them,
Yeah, but
like what my Spanish friend would say, thief guy, thief girl.
Yeah, exactly.
No, let me tell you something. We've been waiting for them for years,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Come, man, come.
Right.
And I made him see some books that I had, very, very expensive books, and he fall for the trap.
Yeah, man.
Went into my place, and we caught him red-handed, and the police know what to do.
Exactly. So
yes, sir.
You'll give her a call now, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh man,
yeah. Give her a call now.
Mm-hmm.
And then
yes, sir.
All right, and then she'll help you to navigate, guide you on the best steps to take next. All right.
I want them to feel it mentally.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man.
Serious. I mean, mentally.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. For taking my things, I want them to feel it mentally.
Okay.
I want them to have some serious problems.
Right. So help me now. Are you, if I might, you're home or you're at the place I always see you?
Let me tell you, I'm all over.
Okay. So you.
Yes, sir. But I don't worry about him.
No. Don't do that. Go back to where I always see her, right? When she should be there. You got her number, right? Give her a call.
You're right.
Okay.
We got all kinds of technology around where I live.
I know, man. I know.
You would be surprised to know what his airspace is like around here. No, but serious. But anyway, what I want to tell you too is people usually take a lot of pictures of me, but he don't know what my life is like. I was involved in politics.
Yeah. I remember when you announced your candidacy.
And I can remember one night where I was working, there was a certain group spying on me, and there was someone else spying on them, and another one spying on them, about 5 different group of spies. So I can tell him something.
Right.
He shouldn't have gone into my place. He will never be free, him and that woman.
No, man. But listen.
Place, what you call it? Yeah.
Importantly now, right? Give her a call, message her, right? I'll do the same and look out for a call. Yeah. So but if you can give her a call, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'll message her as quickly as I can at the break. And but you get in touch with her now, okay?
Oh yeah, they tune in, but they act like they don't tune in. But let me tell them something. They don't know what my life is like, and they can't make my statements invalid.
No, man. No. Yeah. And yeah, our friend there will be able to help you now, especially. All right. Fair enough. All right. Thank you very much. And this is where we be your brother's keeper. All right. Let's pause, and when we come back, we'll have more conversation. Stay tuned.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the all-new Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Jingle all the way into the season of incredible savings and wish granting with Digicel. This Christmas, get 25% off your Prime Bundle plan or postpaid bill for the next 6 months. With plans featuring social data, entertainment data, and more, Digicel keeps you connected and entertained all season long. But here's the real magic. Digicel could make your Christmas wish come true. Win a prize of your choice, from getting your rent paid to a new laptop or even a brand new car. Visit a Digicel store today, where dreams come true this holiday season.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets are red hot and moving. Somebody is going to win this Saturday, and why not you? Get your ticket now through Rotary Central members, Rotary Central ticket sellers, online at eventpro.ky, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Funky Tangs at Shedden Road, Ken Hurlston at Foster's Republics in West Bay, Rotarian Andy Rose Scott next to Rubis in West End, Cayman Brack. Grand prize $40,000. Second winner is $4,000 and 6 $1,000 prizes. Event date, Saturday. This Saturday, November 25th at Salties in Grand Harbor, Red Bay. Music by Sugar Daddy. Good Night Hannah, the band called Heat. Rotary Central Music Extravaganza, a major fundraiser taking care of our community. Rotary Central, NPO number 232, creating hope in Cayman and the world.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And if the digital clock on the wall with its written letters and numbers and black background are anyway indicative of the time waits for no one, let's make use of it. It's open line, right, Miss Susan? We got 1,500 calls online? Well, not just all at once. Let's take one. How about that? All right. Let's go to the phones. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Fix-It.
How are you, my lady? How are you?
Oh, not too bad.
Good to hear from you.
Sometimes it's good to have someone who can try to help fix your problems for you. But sometimes you can't fix them ourselves, you know. They say two heads are better than one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that I think sometimes we are too self-serving, self-centered, and selfish. And sometimes we are so self-absorbed that we have no semblance of the sentiments of others in society that are seemingly plagued by so much. And yet we cuss and complain, and we offer nothing of support.
That's not a lie.
Yep. Well, but
So,
we have you, right?
Yeah. So, you think that we're going to get back to a 2-day service of garbage collection in the new year coming?
Huh. You know, it's something that you've referenced a number of times, and I can honestly appreciate, you know, your what you shared. And I wonder, and I want to maybe help to understand it better if you can, right? We look at it and we see what is happening, and it might be the increase in population, it may be, or increased use of resources. But is it then that what we had twice a week for most of the districts, right? Weekend and then midweek for some. Was that how yours were? Your collection was some time ago?
Yeah, twice a week, yeah.
Yeah. Would that help any, you think? I mean, how would that help?
Well, it was working before, and now that the population is growing rapidly. And I don't know if any restriction and a law out there that homeowners and rental yards is putting the garbage up properly for people to pick up, because Sterling, put all joke aside, garbage is not something easy to pick up. And then
you're right.
A man coming on the road must like from 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and for that garbage not to be packed properly, for them to come there and pick up and take away, it's not healthy for them, and it's not fair for them to have to come out there and mix and mingle with the garbage, to the fact that some of them get cut with containers in the garbage bags. And I know one of them got damaged one time with one of those fluorescent bulbs was in the garbage bin in some location some time ago, and then ran into it, it exploded, and it cut the guy. You know? So, and the way that these people is bagging the garbage, it has to stop.
If I might ask you, and I'm going to hopefully reference this message that this person has sent, so I try to exchange with them, picking up passion on what you shared towards the end. But let's understand, if we had collection every day or twice a week, it's your contention, if I'm understanding correctly, that would assist with the litter. We would have less refuge about the place, and it would be cleaner. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, it would be a lot cleaner. Twice a week like it was before, it was working good when we had less people what we got now. And God knows we got more people. You understand? And the people in some of these places do not care at all. And I tell you, if I had the privilege to go to these rental yards, the way the garbage is situated, believe me, the fine that I throw on them they would make enough money in rental to pay the government.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's unreal and it's not fair to nobody to cross the street and see 1 million little foster bags out there, and these guys got to throw one at a time, two at a time. If they're going to take out 25 bags from one location, or 25 foster bags or hurlers or whoever the bags are, it's a lot of bags to pick up, you know, Sterling.
Yeah, but is that part of the challenge? I mean, one, as you shared, is there a lack of respect, or at the very least a lack of appreciation for not only the importance of the work that, you know, those fine people do, or is it that we don't see, as you shared, how difficult and demanding that work is, the hours that they are working, the type of work they do? Is that part of the problem?
This 3 o'clock come in the morning to wake me up to pick up garbage, very disturbing, and looks like it's not going nowhere because it used to be 6 o'clock. And I guess because the population is growing and don't have enough workers and enough garbage trucks and so forth. Oh, sir, let's stick a pin there. Stick a pin.
Okay.
I understand that we going, or we already going to send our old fire trucks to Honduras. You know anything about that?
I heard something, and even beyond that, some of the assistance. But what do you think? I mean, is that not a good thing? We can help, assist where we can with resources.
Sterling,
Mm-hmm.
stop right there, sweetheart. You stop right there. Let me just, I have nothing against us trying to help anywhere in the world.
Of course not.
But Sterling, we the people, we need to help our own before we try to go across the water to make people make believe that we've got it all here. And area balance is well taken care of, and area capacity. And God knows it is not true. What I can say is these fire trucks are really going to Honduras. I want to know why they choose Honduras, how many is going to Honduras, and because we got a few new trucks, are we going to save one or two of our old trucks just in case one of our further brand new ones break down? They have what I say about old Broom Street, Canada, and a new broom. And Aaron, say for example, you're living on the second floor of your home, and you had a stroke.
God forbid, yeah.
Come down and go to the doctor. They got to send a fire truck to bring you down from the second floor, Sterling. So are we keeping one of those fire trucks for that type of emergency here in this island? Because we have a lot of people who are up on upper floors that need to come down. And who's bringing them down? Fire truck. Like I say, I can't say that I am 100% happy that we are sending these fire trucks to Honduras, and how many we are sending, and how many we are keeping back for our own purpose. We need to stop throwing away everything that is old, try to maintain it, and stop trying to have everything brand new, and when it goes down, instead of fixing it, we go and buy new ones. Not like the dump. Instead we go to the dump, you can go and find the washing machines and the dryers looking brand new. Just need one part, and the dealer or the salesperson in the store tell them it is cheaper to buy a brand new one than to buy a timer for your washer or your stove or your dryer. Can you imagine?
Yeah, well, that is certainly something to consider. But as you shared too, maybe some of the products these days, are indeed manufactured to be, single use. Like some people. We do have the news and another caller, but before we go, anything final you want to share?
No, I need to know how many of these fire trucks we want to keep back and keep the bit to match with our old ones, that if anything happened today with our new ones, we can have an old truck to work with, and I think we should keep one of those fire trucks here in case we need to bring someone down from an upper floor in their own home. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll leave you with that.
No, thank you. I mean, you put good thoughts always on the table, and we can consider them. Where are we going, Miss Susan? To the back? North? That's south. We're going to take the news, and we'll join our callers after. Please stay tuned.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
An increase to the minimum public sector pension guarantee and a $1,500 payout to civil servants. Premier the Honourable Juliana O'Connor-Conley told MPs in Parliament Thursday night government is actively considering amendments to the Public Service Exclusion Uplift regulations. Once finalised, the policy would provide relief to public service pensioners who worked for 10 years or more by increasing their minimum pension to $1,250 per month starting next month. In international headlines, Ukraine launched one of the biggest drone attacks on the Moscow-annexed Crimean Peninsula since the full-scale war that started with Russia's invasion 21 months ago. That, according to Russian officials today. They did not mention any casualties or damage. At the same time, Ukrainian officials reported that the Kremlin's forces escalated their weeks-long and costly attempt to storm Advika, a strategically important city in eastern Ukraine. The stepped-up efforts come as both sides are keen to show that they are not deadlocked as the fighting approaches 2024. Neither side has gained much ground despite a Ukrainian counter-offensive that began in June, and analysts predict the war will be a long one. South Africa, Colombia, and other countries that lost out in the global race for coronavirus vaccines are taking a more combative approach toward drug makers and pushing back on policies that deny cheap treatment to millions of people with tuberculosis and HIV. Experts see it as a shift in how countries deal with pharmaceutical behemoths and say it could trigger more efforts to make life-saving medicines more widely available. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings. An increase to the minimum public sector pension guarantee and a $1,500 payout to civil servants.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
They say variety is the spice of life. And that's why at Subway, we're introducing the new boneless hot sub. Say what? The premium sub brings new ingredients like spicy breaded boneless chicken, French's crispy fried onions, and buffalo wing sauce, bringing a zesty and flavorful experience with every bite. Add some of your favorite veggies, cheese, and ranch sauce of your choice of freshly baked bread for the ultimate boneless hot sub. For a little spice in your life, try the new boneless hot sub from Subway.
So good and tasty.
And make it a meal with a drink and chips or cookies. Subway. Eat fresh.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. 949-8037, 949-6990. Or WhatsApp 925-3261. Call, voice note, or message. We'll get to it. But we got a call on our WhatsApp. Is that where we're going, Miss Susan? She said head south, I meant north. She said go north. Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. Thank you for sharing. How are you?
Mr. Dean.
Hey, what's happening, man? What's happening? Been a while.
Yeah, boy, I've been busy.
As it should be sometimes, you know.
Yeah, you know, stay alive, you know, like, some people don't understand, you know. Like, one of them old fire trucks, we got to find something to do, you know. If it's not nothing to do around here, we got to go somewhere else, find something to do. You understand?
Yeah.
But really, they should hire somebody to fix the trucks. And then, what she talking about, the garbage? You know, that's a little job scheme right there. But you don't hire somebody, $25 a day, go bring in garbage. Recycling garbage. No, you know, you don't got no money for that, but you got money. You know, you want to put a tax on people when it's supposed to be a tax-free place, not you?
Is it really tax-free?
I don't know. I don't believe so. It make it look like, but I don't believe so.
Well, you know, it's one of those things where increasingly we're spending a lot on some things that people question whether we're getting value for it. Not just in the public service, you know, but individually as well, you know.
Yeah, what do you think that new government name stand for? You really think that stand for that? UPM, you really believe that? I believe that call, wanna pay me, or Honor Pay McKeever. That was supposed to be my name. Got that big old smile up, and then you look like, boy, that look like we all the plastic going right there. A big old plastic smile.
Yeah. Boy, sometimes there's more, than we see. So it's always good to question, though, as we trust.
Yeah. Just one shout out, one quick. I want to big up the Brack. I want to tell them, say I love them round braids.
Always, huh?
Always.
Always, man.
Always. But you don't think these people can see something that is changing around here? They don't think they see that, or?
Do you think that we collectively see what's changing, or as and to put the question directly to everybody else, or do we see it and are consciously blind, willfully blind?
Yeah, I believe so.
But if that's the case, then what is going to be the consequence?
Why? Only how these things can go on like this in a real, not a third world country, is higher and deeper sources of corruption. You understand, like mafia type things. In the third world countries, they go on with it boldly. They come up and they run up in your house and they tell you behave. In certain different ways, not like that, but that's supposedly that's how they do it. Over here, they can drop 500,000 on your doorstep and be like, what you saying now?
But sometimes too.
And that's the type of thing that is wrong around here. I'm sorry, yes.
No, good. I mean, just listening to you and perhaps hoping that people, as they pay attention, that it's not your intent to be disrespectful or castigate, but maybe just to question and ask to what extent, we are setting a standard of excellence and maintaining, that value system that we believe, we tout publicly.
It's no way I try to be disrespectful or try to hurt anybody's feelings, but I trying to make sure they understand that there's a thing going on around here called freedom of speech, right? And that's kind of opening up a lot of people's minds and opening up a lot of people's mouth. Some people might say the wrong things when saying that, meaning that it might be based off of culturalism or racism, that they're speaking something that was taught to them from long time ago. So I can kind of say, okay, but this the thing, you won't change, or you won't understand what you're doing is wrong just because the truth hurts you or the truth don't fit your, perception of, what you expect the truth to be. Now, when you got people that know these things and they choose to be quiet, like you say, then we have a serious problem, because there is some type of either economical intimidation or social intimidation going around, that people will not talk and will not speak out about things.
Why is that though? Why is it that is it that we are unwilling? Is it that we just don't care? Or is it that we are afraid?
It have to be that it's all two. You're unwilling and you're afraid.
Yeah. But then if
you rather drink it all away.
Yeah, but if we care, wouldn't that concern and compassion, as we care for people, would not cause us to want to, speak out, do something, acknowledge and try to address that thing that we believe is wrong?
Yeah, right. But this the thing now. They have this thing now that if you're thinking something, right, and that sounds really good, but where your position is, that kind of idea should not be coming from you or sponsored for you,
Yeah.
But if you're in a certain class and you spit the same idea, you will get it through faster and quicker. Now that's the problem what we have in it. That's a big problem. Now if that same two division can come together and on one subject, one proposition, and that proposition could be free healthcare for everybody, old or young, then the people that have us afraid will have a problem, because what will happen then is that we will start really, really to unite, and we would have better, time to think about more things, because we would have one thing conquered, and that would be our health care. I don't have to worry about if I got insurance or not to get my medication. They're not going to tell me, well, you might have one problem, but it mightn't kill you without the medication, and let you go because you don't have the money to pay for the medication. And they think that's right.
Yeah, I think as you share that, we probably don't fully appreciate how increasingly and easily it is that many people find it hard and harder, being denied things that perhaps some of us believe they have access to, that they're enjoying. Now, is it a willful blindness, or is it that there is within us, I use the word pride, right? We're so prideful that we don't ask for help. We don't accept help. But maybe it's something else. Mm-hmm.
Well, you be honest idle long enough. What do you think happened to you?
Mm-hmm.
You believe you can survive a bomb or something? You understand? Because you've been here and you've seen people come and go, people dying for it, and you're starting to think that. But when it comes to they trying to come and say, I don't want to pay for this and I don't want to pay for that. My money, I not come live here this month. I don't want to pay for no young babies or this and that. But here what? You don't make them fool you and think they don't got enough money to pay for you and me.
Yeah.
They got plenty of money that they can pay for all of us to have things. And I dare them to call and say they don't have money. Because you know what? That $1 million sidewalk on the side of the road, so up there. Hoy. Now that would be a point where I is trying to be disrespectful, because wow, all that money you spend on that one pile of cement and you couldn't help nobody, and talk about you sick of seeing this and you sick of seeing this and that. Come on now.
Yeah, man. Hey, before we take the next call, what else you want to share?
I have a good day and a good weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, Christmas time. If I don't call, right? Have a good day.
We'll talk again soon, all right? Take care, my friend. He says it as he sees it, and his points are always very lucid. Let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, Mr. Sterling, me again.
Hey, what's happening, man? How are you? Welcome back.
Fantastic, man. I march with the veterans. My granduncle was a veteran in the World War. His wife, one of them was married to a woman from England. One was married to a woman from America. They had quite a few children by my great grandfather, and they're not gonna. These 2-3 people not gonna make my statements invalid. My great grandfather had a school here in Cayman, and I'm not going to allow that. I was also a scout. I marched with them veterans, and I always think like a soldier. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. The chances that they took, and to disrespect my mother, the only picture that I had for my mother, I will never forgive him for that. And my father, for my father's funeral, he will never, ever get away. They better fire them. They know who they are, and fire them.
Yeah, man. I want you to do a favor, right? Because the number I have here isn't here. Would you don't hang up yet. Let Miss Susan ask you something. Stay on the line, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do not hang up, please. Just stay on the line. All right. While she's doing that, let's take a break. We'll come back with join our other callers. Please stay tuned.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles until December 31st, 2023. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
The Black Friday sale is now on at Reflections Clothing Store. Save 60% on all Adidas apparel. Find store-wide savings up to 60% off on tees, caps, shoes, and clothing. Selected Nike, Puma, and US Polo is 50% off. US Polo handbags. Buy one, get one at 50% off. Save on ladies' fashion jeans, 1 pair of jeans for $25 or 2 for $45. Includes select Levi's, 100% cotton tees by Johnny Cotton, 2 for $34.99. Spend $25 and be entered to win up to $500 in gift certificate. Shop the Black Friday sale at Reflections Clothing Store. On now.
Breakfast, the most important meal of the day. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman Breakfast is back this Saturday, November 25th, starting at 7 a.m. at the Lions Community Center. Enjoy a tasty Caribbean breakfast of fried fish and fritters, liver and onions, and ackee and saltfish, starting at only $12. Get your Caribbean breakfast and support the Lions Club of Grand Cayman in their community efforts this Saturday, November 25th, starting at 7 a.m. at the Lions Community Center. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, serving the people of the Cayman Islands for over 5 decades.
It's back, Cayman. That's right. Le Classique's original Black Friday sale. This Friday and Saturday only. Shoes as low as $10 and $20. Store-wide up to 50%. That's right, Cayman. It's back. The original Le Classique Black Friday sale. This Friday and Saturday only. See you there.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us as we take the next call. Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sterling.
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, thank God, man. Excellent. Making a good day even better.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I was listening to that young man they called in when he was talking about things with cost and with whatever he was speaking about there, and then he mentioned about that sidewalk and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what I want to talk about. But when I heard him speaking about that, it kind of opened my eye to when I came on last week, and I see it up here now too. Why it is that government have to have all of these security guards to every establishment that is in the Cayman Islands. Foreigners as security guards, the hospitals, and the last thing, the schools, the airport, everywhere you look is these security guards. But yet, Sterling, they're time and time again now talking about work for the Caymanians, jobs for the Caymanians. Oh, we got how things for the Caymanians. But they got about, if I had to roughly guess how much foreign nationals that are working in all those different departments, Grand Cayman as security guards or buildings or the establishments, whatever it is, under government or private, whatever. If I had to add, it can't be nothing under 5,000 people. And I know what I see in Kimmenbrock now can't be nothing under 100 foreign nationals in here working, doing jobs that Caymanians can be doing. And we got young people that looking jobs and still can't find no jobs but have to go chop bush. And the people can't put trust, our government, not people, our own government leaders can't put trust in our own Caymanians to give them these jobs and got people coming here. I went to the hospital some nights ago, Sterling, and while I in the hospital, up comes the security guard, asks me if my car out in the parking lot. I say, excuse me, are you talking to me? He said, yeah, I'm talking to you, that your car out in the parking lot. I said, why are you asking? He said, because I see a purse, a handbag inside your car. I said, well, that's my wife's handbag. Why are you peeping in my car? And I told him to his face, I said, man, let me tell you something. If you think you man again, you take yourself and walk out this building, this hospital building, and go back outside there and look in my car again. If you think you man. Sterling, it got to come to a point in time where Caymanians got to stand up and get enough of the rubbish like this. If I want a job as a security officer right now, I come from a background of government, working under the fire department. You are telling me I can't get a security job because we got so much of these foreign people up inside this country here doing such a simple job as what the Caymanians can be doing? I have never seen more neglect, and I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of hearing them talking about they are for the Caymanian people. Sterling, there's no such thing. I keep telling you, don't let people fool you about this promise, because their own promise is a food to comfort a fool's heart, and we have been dictated by some of the biggest dictatorship leaders in our country to have people depending on government, and at the end of the year, we have nothing. We can't buy nothing because we are punishing. We can't work because of them allowing these other companies to come in here and bring in who they want to work in these companies. It's sad. It's sad to me, Sterling. Right now, I tell you on this truth, I am so upset about that. I really, like what our man had said, I really got to walk up that ladder and pull my blood pressure back down, because this has to stop. Something got to be done.
But when and how?
Exactly, because why do we need security guards in our schools? Huh? Why do we need security guards at a hospital? We need people there to assist. I see them sitting there in the chairs, and the senior citizens coming in. And because they're not from here, they won't open the door for the senior citizens to come in a wheelchair. They're sitting in the chairs and won't do their job that they're there for. Huh? When I had to get out of the chair and go and open the door for the people coming through the door, he is sitting there in his chairs. Why are we in the Cayman Islands putting up with these kind of things and nobody standing up against it? What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to hold them accountable that they had put in there before. Still hold them accountable and go to their face, because don't try call them on their phone or send them no WhatsApp. Go to their house and say, listen, on the guys try straighten up, because we need help in this country, and it's about high time that we receive it.
Well, as I listen to you, I mean, one individual has shared a little bit of a message exchange with me, and in paraphrasing what was shared, they asked the question, well, is it that we've grown so fast that there aren't sufficient people, has been alleged to do the jobs? But to respond to a question that I pose, is it that we should be growing so fast? I mean, are we constantly either putting the horse, somewhere in the barn, the cart somewhere else, not even no longer putting the cart before the horse? Are we allowing the tail to wag the dog?
Where are we heading? Where are we going? Where are we going? Every time you turn on the news, you hear about fluctuation in the banks. You hear about insurance policies going through the roof. Everything is going sky high. Where are we going? We can't even feed ourselves, but the government got spend millions of dollars feeding foreigners coming in here, taking our jobs from us, and at the end of the day, Then they tell us, what we got to do about it? What do you mean, what we got to do about it? What they want us to do? How an uproar if our man go and create some type of weapon and cause problem if I end up spending time in prison for me families? This kind of thing shouldn't be in this country. We should not be sitting down how insecurity securities in our schools and having them all over the place because they are not including Caymanians into the system. That is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They should be implementing Caymanians into the system.
Well, we are probably, creating, if not created, a divided society. And perhaps as we look at it, maybe the problem has been compounded as we let the decades unfold. People become entrenched and emboldened. So let's see if we can find ways to bring greater sense of unity. All right?
All right, my friend. I'll talk to you again. Have a good weekend.
You do the same, man. Enjoy it. Be safe. Be well. All right?
Yeah, later, bro.
Later, bro. Let's take at least one more call, maybe the last. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon to you, Sterling Green.
And to you, sir.
Yes.
How are you today, sir?
That's fine, thanks. I know you don't have much time, but listening to a caller, sometimes I wonder if people are really thinking carefully before they call. I understand their sort of dilemma, thinking about these things.
Mm-hmm.
The young man who was talking about no taxes, I don't know where we ever got that from. This is not a tax-free country at all. No country can be. Governments function by taxes. Taxes. They have to function by taxes. That's how they function. That's how they get the money to run the country. The people are taxed in one way or the other. Here is consumption-based, 99% of it. Okay? There's hundreds of billions of dollars passing through here. We should not have poor people here if we did the proper taxation. Would never be so. But the way it's done now, it penalizes the poor man in percentage of what they earn much, much more than the wealthier, high-earning individuals that we seem to look after a lot when we talk about getting off the gray list, black list, blue list, green list. We never had that thought at all here when we were doing the turtling, when we were going national bulk, when we were doing the selling the tax rope, and when we were doing the barking on the trees for dye and going on and on and on, and other things, with the nurse barking and so forth and so on. But we seem to now be concentrating on that aspect of it. And that's why we're in a big dilemma, not the proper form of taxation. The other thing with the security guards, you got to understand, they got to have security guards in this type of crime system we are in now. And we should be using Caymanians, but when we think of the salaries that they're paying, it's not any secret. You see, these are private companies who are hired with these, and they employ these guards, and we see the kind of salaries that they're paying and the kind of money they make off their backs. I'm not going to say any more because I have to be very careful what I say these things. But we have to stop and think the reason why. Maybe why that security guard asked the gentleman. I know that guy is always making some good points on radio. When he saw the bag in the car, is that you should take the bag out of the car, don't leave it there. Maybe that's the reason why he was saying that, Give him a chance to explain.
No, fair enough, too. But, I mean, just for a second, maybe on the other side, too, the gentleman, is from the BRAC and probably thinks
I understand.
the BRAC is safe.
Exactly what you're saying. I know he's from there. I'll listen to him call all the while.
Yes, sir. Yes,
making good points and backing
up
what I was saying about the iguanas and the booby birds and the this and the that.
Yes, sir.
If we're going to protect things and we're going to put things as important as humans or more, we're the endangered species here, the Caymanian, the indigenous Caymanian. Not animals or plants. That's very well and good to consider animals and plants, but we have to put people first. No one takes more care of animals or concentrates on animals than I do. Not anyone that I know, and people who know me know that. I feed more white-winged doves than most people. Well, 50 people put together in one day I feed them. And they would feed them in a year maybe. But the point is I cannot put them before human beings. On plants, on shrubs, on bushes, on ants, and bees and stuff. Human beings, the Caymanian people have to be put first, indigenous Caymanian people, and all wishes and desires considered first and foremost. Yes, we have to pay taxes. There's no one told us this country is tax-free. I don't know who ever heard or decided or made that a law. It's bunkum, it's ridiculous and nonsense, and Great Britain never ever said that to us at all. That's a myth and a lie. We pay taxes. We pay a lot of taxes. Just the system of paying them.
Yeah.
That's the major problem. Have a wonderful day, sir.
And to you, sir.
The word for our elected representatives.
Yeah.
They have to show more courage. God bless. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Bye.
Thank you, very, very much. And certainly appreciate it. And, as the last two callers in particular highlighted, there is a change in facade and perhaps a change in cultural ethos and acceptance, and perhaps for some, failure to recognize that it's no longer subtle. Perhaps maybe it's deliberate. I say that in reference to a couple of messages that came in relation to perhaps what was shared in the thoughts that they may have sparked. A few individuals have messaged to say that in the Cayman context of today, we're seeing things that may be, unfamiliar, willingly being accepted. Perhaps some things that our forefathers would never have even thought that they would ever see happening in the Cayman. Maybe it's much that we're ignoring. 3 messages on a similar thing, but I'll read just these ones. This listener shares, a very disappointing sight was recently when members of the Uniform Support Group, I think now that's the Firearms Response Unit, going into a named popular food establishment on the Westbury Road in full weaponry, sharing that their long guns were flung across their chests, and this is a very high-profile tourist area. Is that necessary? Perhaps these weapons could be better secured and should be in their vehicles prior to, quote-unquote, getting their lunch. It is something that I experienced in a number of instances, and even personal reference to His Excellency when he was here. So much so that I was at one of those eateries in recent times as well. And I think everybody in the world knows I don't have much use for guns, and certainly don't support a strong proponent. But it so affected my meal that I left, and I didn't even take my chocolate. Now, we don't live in Jamaica or the US, and we certainly don't labor on the threat of violence, at least I hope not. But to that listener who shared, perhaps your experiences only resonate with me because I share your similar sentiments, but is that what society is expecting now? Is that what we have come to? Well, interesting. Let me just leave this last sentiment with one of our listeners who highlights something that has been witnessed. A picture of the Cayman flag has been taken and sent to us. Their listener writes, "This rag," and if you look at the picture, is a very tattered rag of a flag. So this rag has been flying all day, and only God knows for how many days. Isn't that illegal? Well, it certainly goes against protocol. Is it illegal? Perhaps it is. But in that, something that we don't have sufficient respect for, maybe we don't appreciate it. Maybe it's very deliberate and conscious to just openly show disrespect and challenging people to say, come, do something about this. If we ignore our national symbols and destroy them, if we see our flag and watch it being desecrated, well, what does it say about us? Anyway, enjoy, the rest of what is the Friday as you go into our weekend. Let it be a very positive and productive one as we, pensively reflect on who we are as a people. Let us prepare to unite our hands and hearts, because if we live here and we only take and don't give, eventually there'll be nothing left. If we complain and castigate, well, it'll only be negative. If we see people who are doing good and we draw alongside, maybe more good will be done and in a better way. Well, there's much to be had. The question is, are we prepared to have a go at it to make it better? Please join me start come Monday morning. For the record, we have a number of things scheduled for Monday, and if as they materializes, we'll be more than honored to help to facilitate those discussions. For those who subscribe to prayer, let's continue to pray for those in position of authority, that they be imbued with wisdom and a sense of humility and integrity. Recognize that heavy is the head that hangs the crown, right? Until Monday, my friends, be blessed.
Talk today. But I do have some questions.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Radio Cayman, the voice, the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.